LeBron James is trying to get himself fired.
Yes. He's trying to get fired at work.
Yeah, does this not seem he's after he agreed to do the job?
Yeah.
He is trying to get himself fired. Now, it's a different kind of firing, obviously, because he is trying to get himself fired, but his money is guaranteed. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a guaranteed $52 million. Anybody who blames LeBron for opting in can't count. That's all I have for you. Well, if he didn't want to play for the Lakers, why did he opt in? Can you count 52, 000, 000, hold on, dot 00. All right, we're all caught up. We all understand. We all get the deal. Okay. However, I've been watching Rich Paul go around doing interviews where he's talking about it. LeBron is just there. He got some hell because ESPN asked him to come on the broadcast, and he said he didn't have anything to say. And I don't know why you giving LeBron hell for that. That man pays Rich Paul millions of dollars to do that shit. I don't know why you think he gonna be the one to do it. You must be crazy. Every now and then something happens in my life where I'm like, yeah, I could do that, but what about these people I pay to do it? Or that somebody gets paid to do it. Why don't they go ahead and do it? So anyway, LeBron been around Las Vegas in this incredibly interesting scenario because when they traded him, now, Ryan, I know you haven't, been around the program in the most intimate way for the longest of times, but maybe you have noticed this from some of the comments that we receive and that you can check out from time to time, though you and I both traffic in the don't check the comments too much, but it's a lot of people that think I hate LeBron James just because I be out here telling the truth, right?
I've noticed.
Okay. I really don't hate the dude. I don't like him as much as I used to, but I also don't know him, right? Very important distinction.
Yes.
So like the idea of hating LeBron, no, not really there. But what happens then as a result is I think there's a lot of stuff that because LeBron is such a polarizing figure, that could be very difficult for folks to, I would say, truly acknowledge and recognize what's going on. So when they made that trade for Luka Doncic, I said it right then and there. I don't think I used these words exactly, but he got demoted. Since the year, 2000, 2001, he has been the center of every single team that he's been on. He hit the NBA and he was the center of the Cavs at 18 years old. He went to Miami, which was his man squad. And he was the center of that. When he comes back to Cleveland, everywhere he goes, this has always been about LeBron James. And then they went and traded for Luka Doncic, and now he's number 2. And at every point, LeBron has been saying, I need more help. I need more help. I want Anthony Davis. Hopefully I can hand this team over to Anthony Davis. And I think he meant that completely when he would say that, right? I have little to no doubt that he meant those words when he said it. But then you actually have to do it, right? And with the Lakers and Anthony Davis, it never really happened. And even if Anthony Davis became the best player on the team, which I do think probably happened after a point, it never stopped being LeBron's team. It never stopped being about LeBron. Then Luka got there, and it kind of stopped being about LeBron. The first sign that it stopped being about LeBron was when they tried to make that trade for Mark Williams after Anthony Davis and LeBron had been wanting a center. They ain't gonna get no center for them, but they went and got themselves a center for Luka Doncic. Yeah, they did that. And you realize, oh, okay, this is Luka's team. And I think for LeBron in the very beginning, he went along with it and he was cool with it. And then more and more you start to see and you LeBron and you realize, hey, man, they not thinking about you like that anymore. But now you're LeBron James. You were going into literally year 23, which is absurd, right? He's going into year 23. Ain't no waiting for 2027. And the word is out there what the Lakers are trying to do is to maximize their cap space for the year 2027. Number one, if LeBron had a problem with that just on the face that it's poor strategy, that is where I agree with him. Look, big free agents, that doesn't really happen anymore. I thought that we had already discussed this with the thing with the aprons and the way that players now choose to behave in terms of re-upping. This idea, there's not going to be a summer of 2010 anymore. I don't think you're going to have a point at which there's a guy like, call it Kevin Durant, being available in 2016. Dudes are re-upping as soon as they can for as much money as they can. And then they're going from there. Like, maybe there's something that I don't understand about the idea of waiting for the year 2027, but I'm just telling you, I don't get it. I don't see why that would be the strategy that you would play if you were the Lakers. And so if you're LeBron, I get that. He's like, yo, what is it that you're doing? What is it that we're doing? And so now LeBron has done what has basically always worked for him. I'm going to put the squeeze on them. And I don't blame him for the approach that he's taken all these years of putting the squeeze on them, because he didn't put the squeeze on the Cavs early and they burned a lot of the early portion of his career just because they had LeBron. And that was when he realized, oh, these teams are willing to sacrifice winning just to keep getting this paper because I fill up the house. I drive up the equity. I do all of those things. You're not going to get me a winner behind that? What are you talking about? So then he went to Cleveland, back to Cleveland, because he did those 4 years in Miami. He went back to Cleveland, and at just about every turn he could possibly had, he set up a situation where they had to do what LeBron wanted them to do, and now the Lakers don't give a damn what LeBron wants. Not only do they not give a damn about what LeBron wants, what seems to be clear to me from this comfortable distance is they are somewhere between feeling like they've done plenty and being tired of him.
I have one question. When you say they, when it refers to the Lakers,
yes,
I
mean Jeannie.
You mean Jeannie? Okay, thank you for getting to the question.
I mean Jeannie and Rob. Right? Look, man, they went and got Anthony Davis, which, by the way, was what they should have done anyway. But the way that they look at it is LeBron wanted us to get Anthony Davis, and we traded literally the whole team in order to get him. And they won a championship. And then there's that other one, Ryan. They gave his son a job.
Oh, I thought you were going to Westbrook, but they did give.
I forgot about that one.
I thought, yeah. So they traded for Anthony Davis. That worked great.
Yes.
They trade for Russell Westbrook, the exact opposite.
Yes.
And now his son has a job, guaranteed for 3 more years.
Yes, a really good job, by the way. They didn't just say, well, son, how'd you like to push this mail cart? No. They did not. They gave him a good-ass job, okay? I think the Lakers feel like they've done everything that they could for LeBron, or at the very least, they did everything that they would for LeBron. And what I think I find most interesting about it is they probably think we got Luka Doncic, we did this for LeBron, but they didn't do that for LeBron. They did that for themselves. And now I feel like the greatest player of his generation, one of the 5 greatest players of all time, no matter how you slice it, is now in Las Vegas with his agent doing a PR tour about what comes next. Does he think the Lakers are going to buy him out? Because they're not. Why would they do that?
I think, the Lakers are not going to buy him out. I saw the reporting that 4 teams have called the Lakers that are interested. Obviously, the Knicks and the Cavs being kind of high on that list, getting back into the Eastern Conference. I feel like we're due for a long-form LeBron James interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like, friendly media outlet. I forget he does have his own podcast. So if you really wanted to put the screws to him. But I feel like that is next. We got the Rich Paul statement. We got the pouty public appearance.
Yes.
And knowing the last 20 years of LeBron James, I think that public appearance is next.
Is he going back to McAfee?
That it depends on if McAfee's on, but I think that's definitely a high on the ads.
So this is my thought, and I'm curious what you think about this. I feel like if you're the Lakers, you've just got to get this to the regular season, right? Get this to training camp. Get this. This is not Jim Harden,
right?
I don't think he's going to show up to training camp acted up, because remember, Jim Harden was on a team with DeMarcus Cousins and PJ Tucker and I think John Wall was there by that time too, and they was ready to whoop his ass. Like that had to end before somebody killed James Harden, because
that's when he was out there quitting in the middle of games.
Yes, and also in practice and all this stuff. But the word disrespect was being thrown around by people like
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yes, by people who fight.
Yes,
like they were like, hey, we got to do something about this. Okay. I don't think LeBron's the type that's going to get in there and act up. I think he's got a little too much pride and too much dignity when the regular season comes to get out there and do like James Harden type things, right? Or my personal favorite, when Andrew Bynum was finished and he was playing with the Cavs and he had the practice where he shot the ball every time he touched it, including from three-quarter court.
I thought you were going to go Jimmy Butler taking the backups and beating all the starters in Minnesota. I think that's an all-time good one too.
So that was interesting because Jimmy played when it came time to play. He would find reasons not to play games. But when it came time to play, he came time to play. But
yeah, he would go to practice, kick everyone's ass, and then Rachel Nichols was magically there.
Waiting on him.
2 hours later, yeah.
Waiting on him, right? Yeah. I don't know where this goes, but I don't think LeBron doesn't have the leverage to strong arm himself out of there. He might be able to find teams who are interested. The Lakers have no great reason to move him. And honestly, if I'm one of these other teams, how much am I giving up to get 1 year maybe to a LeBron James at this point? How much am I giving up to get a guy that's going to make $50 million? And what's that going to do to our cap situation and with these funny aprons and everything else? I do. Does anybody see a resolution to this problem that serves either side? I don't really see that. I don't know if the Lakers thought this out, but so far. But I do know this, and this is the part that every single player in the NBA needs to recognize. In the year 2003, after Michael Jordan, who had a piece of ownership with the Wizards, gave that up so that he could go down on the floor and to play for 2 years and to sell out the house every night. And then at the end, Abe Polian called him into the office and shit-canned him. Michael Jordan thought he was going to go back to being an executive, and they told him to kick rocks, you yellow-eyed motherfucker, and sent him down the road. That was the time that a lot of guys in the NBA learned, in the words of the great Cujo Goody, you think it can't happen to you, then it do. It can happen to anybody. When they're done, they're done. Because fundamentally, if you don't play this right, y'all are all still employees. And LeBron James is learning this the hard way. You think it can't happen to you, then it do. Okay? Kobe Bryant wanted to be traded in 2007. They told him to sit his ass down, right? It worked out for the best for all parties involved that it happened. They gave him a nice little farewell tour in the end, but that was the moment he realized he worked for them, okay? And LeBron is getting this right now for everything that he's done, for the upstanding statesman that he's been for this league, for the fact that he's carried this league as its face for just about 20 years. They did it to him too. They can do it to anybody. And right now, he has no recourse. He has no leverage. And I have no idea how this is going to play out. None whatsoever. But I'm telling you this, if LeBron, this is, you're on a team with a fan base that's been iffy with you since the day that you got there. Now, if you can find your way to get back to Cleveland where you're going to have some measure of love forever, then maybe this turns out to be some kind of happy ending. That is possible. But man, I don't think he wants an unhappy ending, right? I think that he has seen this as he wants to go out with some kind of farewell tour. And the way this is stacking up right now, I don't see the path to that. Maybe he and Rich see the path to that. But it would be a shame, given everything LeBron's done for the league and how good he's been, if this truly ends on a sour note, especially considering how good he still is. But right now, it's looking like it's going to end sour as hell.